look at Trump and his associates and blatantly what they're doing. And the only way to control it, by the way, would be to pass a law, which Congress is never going to pass, that all political appointees that have to be approved by Congress, as well as all members of Congress, will have no discretionary ability to move their portfolios one way or another once they're in office.
Well, in case you missed it, the stock market has come surging back after President Trump announced a pause to his tariff plan. Following the news, the market had its second best day ever recorded, climbing 12% in a single day. This was great news for anyone with a retirement account, but Democrats are incapable of accepting good news. Instead of celebrating, they've chosen to accuse Republicans, I kid you not, accuse Republicans of insider trading. Yeah, I know. Ironic coming from the party of Nancy Pelosi, who for years has been the ultimate insider trader. Democrats and the left-wing media they've just kicked off a smear campaign against Marjorie Taylor Greene, accusing her of insider trading. They're demanding an investigation. I'm sure the fact that she's a longtime Trump ally is purely coincidental. According to my guest today, Greene is completely innocent of these allegations. Not only that, but he claims this is just a smokescreen to cover up blatant insider trading by Democrat lawmakers. He's got the proof. His name is Ross Givens. He's a 20-year veteran of the stock market, a former vice president at J.P. Morgan Chase, and the leading authority on insider trading. He's also holding a wonderful free training event this Thursday, May 8th at 3 p.m. Eastern, where he's going to show you how to follow these insider trades for yourself. Click the link below this video to register, because I promise you do not want to miss this. Oh, and it gets even better. Ross also told me he's found the smoking gun that could finally put Nancy Pelosi in prison. I cannot wait to hear what he has to share. Ross, welcome back, my friend. Great to see you as always.
Dr. Steve, it's my pleasure.
Well, it's great to have you, man. So tell us what's going on. I mean, I want to get to the Pelosi stuff in a minute because this seems to be a bombshell. But these are some pretty big accusations against Marjorie Taylor Greene. Can you lay that out for us?
Well, as you said, the stock market just had its second best day of all time last month. I mean, the NASDAQ index, the whole market went 12% in 6 hours. It is unheard of. Yeah. And the reason was, of course, that Trump announced he'd be pausing these tariffs on everyone except China. So, these tariffs, the trade war, that's the reason the market's been down the last couple of months. Somebody backs off, stocks come ripping back. Well, that day, Marjorie Taylor Greene happened to buy a handful of stocks, and that's where these accusations are coming from. Okay. Democrats would love for you to believe that she was tipped off to what he was about to do, bought the stocks right before to take advantage as they went back up.
Right. It makes sense, but you don't believe that to be the case. Can you tell us why?
No, yeah, and it's really two things. The first is the size of these trades, okay? Now, I'm not sure if your viewers know this, but you can actually see when these politicians buy stocks. You can see what and when and how much they've invested. So they have to file these transaction reports that look like this, and this is all public record. Now, these are the trades in question from Greene. And if you look at that column down the right, it shows the amount. So what they have to do is select a range, and it's like 50 to 100,000, 100 to 250, 250,000 to $1 million, 1 to 5 million, right? The lowest option is 1,000 to 15,000. Mm-hmm. All of Marjorie's trades or minimum size. I mean, we're talking about a couple $1,000 a piece here, Dr. Steve.
All right. So I'm getting the logic here. So you're saying that if she were really tipped off here, if she really knew something, she would have invested a lot more money than that.
Exactly, right. Pelosi goes in for millions.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah? Now, the other thing is, of course, which stocks she bought. Because if you were trying to capitalize on this tariff pause you knew was coming, and that is exactly what they're accusing her of, you would buy the stocks that are going to benefit the most. And the biggest winners that day were from stocks with big international exposure. So mainly it was airlines, cruise companies, travel stocks like Expedia. Marjorie Taylor didn't buy any of these stocks. She bought Amazon, though, which is barely up after the tariff ban because the ban excluded China. And guess where Amazon gets a bunch of his stuff from? We've already seen,
Exactly.
the White House and Bezos having their little conflict over this. That's not one that would benefit. She bought Lululemon, which is barely moved. She bought Merck, which is up a whopping 3%. She bought Tesla, Nike, FedEx, JP Morgan. It's just a basket of your typical large cap household. It's not what insider trading looks like.
No, I mean, I was being told by a bunch of people, buy Tesla, this is the time to buy it, right? So in other words, she did not even buy the stocks that would make her the most money. That's the tip off as to
exactly right.
Trading.
The stocks she bought, for the most part, went up the same or less than the overall market. She made no more than anyone else with an IRA or 401k account. Now, Dr. Steve, let me contrast that. Let me show you and your audience what real insider trading looks like. Okay. Now, again, for anyone watching this is all public information. If you want to click the link below, as Dr. Steve said, register for that event. It's this Thursday. It's online. It's free. I'll show you how to find all this stuff yourself. But let's look at one. So Susie Lee, who you're probably familiar with, is a Democrat member of the House of Representatives. Now, Miss Lee, unlike Pelosi and some of those cronies, is not a very active investor. In fact, she's not bought any stocks since 2022. Then last May, she bought shares of Rheinmetall, which is a German arms manufacturer, okay? So, she's not buying a basket of stocks, household names like Greene. She bought one stock, and it's the only stock she's bought in 3 years. Well, a few months ago, we found out why. Germany just so happened to ramp up its military spending by billions of dollars. A lot of those billions are going to, you guessed it, Rheinmetall arms manufacturing. This is what that stock has done since Representative Lee bought it.
Dang.
So that is what insider trading looks like. For those wondering.
Yeah. So, right. I mean, the contrast couldn't be more stark. I mean, 184% in less than a year. She almost triples her money on this. But she's got to be the luckiest person on the planet if this is the only stock she's bought since 2022.
Right. You see what I mean? Like, it's very obvious when the one stock you pick. And it's funny, I saw they reached one, I forget what publication it was, reached out for comment. And her person came back and said, "Oh, I didn't even know about the trade. It was, bought in my son's account by my ex-husband." Yeah, because most of us with kids are out there looking for, off the radar German arms manufacturing stocks to buy for our children, right?
Right.
But it's just a big contrast between the two, right? Another person on the right, they like to accuse insider trading, is Dan Crenshaw. And, I know people have you have opinions about the guy. Everyone's entitled to those. He's a lot of things, but he's not an insider trader. So
right.
This is his financial disclosure report. And most of his investments, like, he's just an old school guy. They're hard assets. He's got a rental house, part of an apartment building. He put $70,000 in seed funding for Jocko Fuel. He's got some money in oil wells, but his stock holdings are tiny. They're trying to accuse this guy of insider trading. Meanwhile, he owns like $1,000 or a couple $1,000 of each of these stocks. And again, it's the same one. It's Alphabet, Amazon, Apple, Boeing, the usual household stuff. So if this is insider trading, Dr. Steve, I don't know what you would call what Nancy Pelosi does.
Yeah, that's right. I appreciate this because you're showing there is a very clear pattern here, and Marjorie Taylor Greene and Dan Crenshaw are not exemplifying it. I'm glad you brought up Pelosi because I did want to ask you about her. We spoke a few months back, and you told me she was buying a little AI stock or something. Again, this is what makes your training so awesome, is you show us how to be able to piggyback on all this. Whatever happened with that?
It's funny you ask. You've got a great memory because that is indeed the stock I wanted to talk to you about today. So I've got an update on that, and that's where I think I've found this. This is the strongest evidence I've ever had to pin insider trading on Pelosi. So
the smoking stock.
Let me show you what I got. I think you're going to be impressed. Now, it was an AI stock. You're right. The company is called Tempus AI. The ticker symbol is TEM. So look this up. And she bought it back in January. Now, she didn't just buy the stock. If you look here at her transaction report, you'll see she bought call options on the stock. Now, options, for those who are not they're just a leverage bet. It is a bet that the stock's going to make a big move very quickly, or else you lose all the money. So this is something you would only do if you were very, very confident that this stock was about to go up.
Yeah, I know it. I know what directionality. Let me get. Let me guess.
You know
Let
I'm
me
going
guess.
with this.
Can I guess?
Take a
Did
stab
it
in the
go
dark.
up?
Oh, did
Did
it,
it go
Dr.
up?
Steve? I sent you a chart of Tempest. Look what this stock did after Pelosi bought it.
Yeah.
And again, look
Rocket
at the
fuel.
scale. Look how
My heavens,
quickly
yeah.
this happened. This is in a month.
Yeah.
So, and again, she didn't just buy the stock. Because she knew what was coming, doubling her money wasn't enough. She bought options. These things at the time were trading for roughly $15 a piece. The very next month, they were worth $70 a piece. She more than quadrupled her investment in 1 month.
Yeah. I mean, I always say this every time we're together. But I just cannot believe they keep getting away with this. But again, I know. I mean, this is almost. Well, I love the way you're demonstrating the pattern, but demonstrating the pattern and proving the insider trading, I know, are two different things. And no one's going to well, one day maybe, but no one's going to convict the former Speaker of the House for insider trading without like absolute ironclad proof.
I know, and I hope I have it. Now, for anyone on the ethics committee, feel free to reference this video in Congress. Here's what we've got. Okay, so this trade, I don't know what it was, or just something about it. It just felt different. I did a lot of digging on this one, even more than usual. And what I did is I looked into the backgrounds of everyone at that company, even the board members. Now, none of them had a clear connection to Pelosi except for one. This is Lauren Silvas. And as you can see here in this article from Business Insider, she is the senior vice president of external affairs at the company. Her job, public policy and government affairs. Okay. Now, she's featured in this article as one of, and I quote, 34 DC healthcare power players who shaped the rules for a $3.5 trillion industry. So I think we can make a fair assumption that she's pretty well connected on Capitol Hill, right?
Yeah, right. Yes.
But it goes deeper. You see, earlier in her career, she was a partner at Sidley Austin LLP, a law firm. And this firm leans hard to the left. Their political donations reflect that.
Right.
Now, I've put a few of them up here. They made, dozens and dozens, but the big ones were to the DNC, to Kamala Harris. They gave to Act Blue, which I don't even want to get into, state Democratic parties, the Gay and Lesbian Victory Fund, and of course, our good friend Nancy Pelosi. So part one, her firm, of which she was a partner, donated millions to Democrats and Democrat causes, and that usually gets you some access, right? But after leaving the firm, she held 2 government positions before joining this company, Tempest AI. First, as the chief of staff at the FDA, and then as a senior advisor at the Department of Health and Human Services. Now, both of these departments work very closely with Congress. She held a top role at both. She would have worked directly with Nancy Pelosi and other lawmakers to shape legislation. And the cherry on top, do you know where the Department of Health and Human Services is housed? The HHS Region 9 headquarters is located in San Francisco, California, inside, and I am not making this up, inside the Nancy Pelosi Federal Building.
Dang.
So we have this woman, Lauren Silvas, one of the top healthcare power brokers in D.C., who is a partner at a far-left firm with connections to Pelosi. She worked closely with lawmakers in her roles at the FDA, the HHS. Then she takes a vice president position at a multi-billion-dollar AI company, despite having zero tech experience, where she is in charge of government affairs. And I'm supposed to think,
oh my heaven,
that she did not tip off Nancy Pelosi, that her firm was about to unveil its next generation Tempest One model, the model promising a generational leap in healthcare tech through their AI-enabled services. We're supposed to believe that Pelosi just so happened to place a six-figure, highly leveraged, time-sensitive bet on this company the same week this information went public?
Right.
Give
No.
me a break. Nancy, I got you, and you're busted.
Bravo. 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 That is brilliant, dude. Dang, you did your homework. I'm speechless. I mean, you weren't kidding. I mean, that is a smoking gun. It almost seems like sheep dipping or something like that, on the part when the deep state would send their operatives into social media companies, and then they cross-pollinate. This
Yes.
is crazy. And you've been studying this for years, so this isn't just a one-off event. You've been
Right.
sharing examples like this with our viewers now, time and time again. Members of Congress routinely do this. This is what Doge is uncovering, this level of corruption where just Washington, D.C. has just become a slush fund. And now this is the way it just extends into Wall Street. Gang, by the way, if you have not already done yourself a favor, make sure you register for this free training coming up on May 8th. It's Thursday, May 8th, 3 p.m. Eastern with Ross. He's amazing. I mean, this guy, as you could see it, he eats, sleeps, and drinks insider trading. He knows it like the back of his hand. This is free. This is online. There's a link below this video. He'll send you the link to join. You just can't afford not to follow this stuff. These politicians make tens of millions of dollars on these trades. And guess what? It's all out in the open. Ross will show you how you can piggyback on them and buy the exact same ones. It's amazing.
Yeah, and I didn't realize it until maybe people don't know this stuff's out there. We always hear about it after the fact, but this is a huge edge for people. And listen, it's not just politicians. These corporate insiders do even better. If you think members of Congress are good stock traders, which they are, wait until you see how well CEOs and CFOs do. These guys have direct
and that's
access.
where it starts. That's what the politicians are following. It's what these CEOs
exactly.
are doing.
Yeah, exactly. And a politician may have big picture news, or someone like Pelosi gets tipped off by one of her friends, but the CEO, the CFO, the people inside, they have direct access to that private market moving information. I mean, pharmaceutical execs, they know they're about to release a new drug or get great trial results and FDA approval. The CFO of a bank knows when they're going to announce a huge earnings number. If you were the chief technology officer of an AI company, you know about your new software that's going to get released and exactly when it's going to be announced. I mean, all of this hugely valuable information, because when it becomes public, the stock is nearly guaranteed to shoot up.
Right.
Yet they are free to buy and sell their own company stock with their own money, pretty much without restriction. But, and again, this is the important part, and thank you for bringing up, we can see their trades.
Right.
We can see exactly what stocks they're buying, when they're buying, in their own accounts, with their own money, pretty much in real time. And we've made a lot of money following along. We've been doing this since 2017. We've beat the market every single year. And all of this is free information. It is free for anyone to access. If you know where to look, they're essentially feeding you inside tips. So that's why we hold these free training events. I don't want to beat a dead horse, but I hope you guys come. There's a link below. We're going to show you how to do this yourself. In fact, everyone who registers, we're going to send you our most recent pick. So even if you can't come, I encourage you, put your email in. I'll send it to you, all the research. You can tell we're pretty deep with our research, and I think you'll be surprised what's available to you.
That's so just click on the link below, register, and boom, you get the free research.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, so thank you for that, Ross. Yeah, gang, this is an amazing opportunity for you to learn how to really look over the shoulders of these politicians and CEOs and piggyback on precisely what they are investing in. I mean, it's a tried and true method, as you just saw. It's pretty brilliant stuff. So, gang, you don't want to miss out on this. Again, Thursday, May 8th, 3 p.m. Eastern. The event's online, absolutely free. You can enjoy it from the comfort of your own couch. And Ross is going to show you everything you need to know on how to trade like Pelosi. But again, we do it legally and ethically.
Right.
Nobody's being bribed. We're just watching from afar the city that's functioning as a slush fund, and we're just being able to find out how to use it to our own advantage. Now, keep in mind, I do think you have a registration cap, if I recall, the first 1,000.
Yeah, we have an attendance cap. The software we use caps like 1,000 attendees, and you know, you're a pretty popular guy, Dr. Steve. Sometimes we get thousands of registrations, and so when it fills up, you won't be able to get in. So I tell people, go ahead, register early, put in your email name. If you put your phone number in, we'll even text you a reminder like 15 minutes before we get started. And again, you'll get that free trade sent right to your phone, email, as soon as you register as well.
And I just full disclosure, I get Ross's texts. I always get Ross's texts. They're so informative and wonderful. You'll love it. So you're going to have the same resource that I have. And by the way, if you've ever been to one of Ross's free trainings, they do fill up fast. So you do not want to wait. You want to register right now. Click on the link below. Register May 8th, 3:00 p.m. And hey, man. Learn, Ross, dude, you're going to show them how to do it, man. That is your wheelhouse. That's what you know how to do. Show people how to be able to trade like Pelosi, but ethically and legally.
We're just leveling the playing field, man. It's out there. They're corrupt. Might as well make some money yourself.
Exactly, in such a way that benefits faith, family, and freedom. You use this craziness out there in order to benefit us and our own people, and that's what you've been doing. You're awesome. It's great, sir. Gang. I couldn't entrust you anybody more. I've hung out with Ross. He's amazing, good family man, and a patriot. Shares our values. So make sure to click on that link below. Thursday, May 8th, 3 p.m. Eastern. You will not regret it. All right, Ross. Thanks for bringing that smoking gun. Maybe we'll get somebody in DC to take a look at that.
Get her, Dr. Steve. You got the reach. Let's see if we can make May an uncomfortable month for her.
Yes. Sounds great. I'll be there. I look forward to seeing you on Thursday.
Thanks, Dr. Steve. Take care, bud.